discussing challenges to local growers. And usually have trouble. I rarely have trouble being heard. I always love an audience. So, we were discussing the challenges, and you know, as young growers, the biggest challenge really around here is access to affordable land. And you know, like renting farms is awesome, and I'm not disparaging that. I myself just recently entered into a long-term lease, but you know, the thing you got to keep in mind is that at the end of a lease, as a farmer, you're walking away with nothing. You know, you're going to have 20, 25 years of, be it, you know, infrastructure, marketing, everything, and you're going to walk away with, you know, whatever you can get auction-wise for your stuff out on the lawn. And that's not even taking into account things like, you know, if your children fall in love with it, what it is you do, there's no real guarantee that you can pass on that relationship with that place to them. So that's really, I think, the big nut to crack. You know, is like, how do you get younger people onto land where, I mean, this is a beautiful place for people, young farmers. There's tons, I mean, look at this room. There's not a whole lot of counties in Pennsylvania where you're going to get this kind of, you know, audience coming out for this sort of a topic. This is where we want to be. But how are we going to create, you know, long-term solutions financially? Because, you know, I don't want to be walking away from my farm in 25 years with, you know, whatever I get at auction for my stuff. That's just, it's a bummer, you know, and that's really, I mean, I've spent the last 2 years cracking my head every day. How can you create a schematic for farmers who rent to have some kind of equity stake in their operation so that at the end of that time period of the lease, they have something? And frankly, I don't think that there is a good answer to that question. Short, I mean, we live in America. It's about ownership. We do not live in a you know, a leasehold. You know, renting is not, it's not the culture that we live in. And I don't know, if anyone has the answers, I would love to hear them. Because I've spent, as I said, the last 2 years trying to hash this out in my head every day. And I don't have a solution. But I love farming, and I love farming in Bucks County. And as I said, I do have a long-term lease in place for myself now because that's the best thing I have going. And, you know, thank you all for coming out and, you know, and caring about these issues, because it's going to take all of us to try and figure out a solution to them.
Just one second, right?
Amen.
We don't necessarily have to own our land. We will look at people who want to buy land subject to the conservation easement. So don't think of only long-term lease. If the covenant or the easement that we got the land under would allow it, there's no reason we have to own it. Our goal is to protect it. And we do, like I say, we have conservation easements on 10,000 acres and we own 600. That's a conscious decision on our part. We don't want to be in the land management business. The people out there do it better. So again, there are potential options that you guys just have to make a proposal. Nope. I can't remember. I've been conserving 30 years. I can't remember more than 10 times that people came up to us and said, "Would you sell us a piece of land?" They presume we won't because we're conservative. We never got asked.